Okay, welcome back. In this video, we are starting 2.8. 2.8 is all about inverse functions and one-to-one functions. So we're going to look at that. This video, we're going to look at just what is a one-to-one function and kind of review that. We did that in 10.10 already, but we are going to just go through it again real fast and make sure you have it down. Um, so a one-to-one function is one that has, for each x value, well, I guess the way that it says it in the book is for different x values, you get different y values, okay? That's what it means for a function to be one-to-one is if you plug in different x values, you should get different y values. In other words, you can't get the same y value for different x values. So if you had like a function, let's say when we plug in 1, we get 5, okay? And let's say if I plug in 2, I also get 5, okay? Now, a function can do this, that's okay. It's just this would not be one-to-one. Not one-to-one. Because you have two different x values going to the same y value. Okay? And why we care about one-to-one is a one-to-one function will have an inverse. Other functions that aren't one-to-one will not have an inverse. Okay, so this would be an example. If you had this happening, it would not be one-to-one. Something else, how you can kind of tell whether a function is one-to-one. We had kind of a test for doing it, and that was the horizontal line test. Okay. If you have a function of some sort, I'm going to maybe start with a basic parabola, an x squared. Okay, so we draw in this x squared here, this nice little parabola. Okay, is this a one-to-one function? Well, if you draw horizontal lines through this graph, okay, how many times is it touching? Well, there is a place where it only touches once, but there are places where it touches twice here, right? Touches twice right there. And so this would not be one-to-one. It's a function because it passes the vertical line test, drawing vertical lines through, but it's not one-to-one because it doesn't pass the horizontal line test. Okay. Let's look at another example real fast with a graph. Maybe like a square root. That looks something like that. Okay. Is this a one-to-one function? Yeah. As you draw in horizontal lines here, it's only ever touching once. And so this is one-to-one. Okay. And so one-to-one functions have inverses, and when they're not one-to-one, I guess they have an inverse relation, but it's not a function. Okay. And so that's kind of what we care about one-to-one for. So hopefully that helps with one-to-one. In the next video, we're going to look at inverse functions and really kind of define that so that you can remember that.